our mission really is to pull out the key ideas here, the nuggets of wisdom from this source, to help you, listening, understand how you might cultivate that deep internal happiness by, well, by living life truly on your own terms. So the question for you is, what if the secret isn't about meeting expectations, but something much more personal, something you control? Let's explore that.
What's really fascinating here is the core principle. It isn't just some vague idea.
Right.
The source really emphasizes that true happiness is found by living on your own terms. And crucially, it argues this isn't only about the huge life choices.
Oh, okay. So not just career or relationship.
Exactly. It stresses that happiness is just as much about the micro decisions we make every single day.
Micro decisions.
Yeah, it's like a muscle,
Sure,
You build it through these consistent, sometimes really small, unseen acts of self-direction. It's not some destination you just suddenly land at.
So less like a sudden dramatic break from everything society expects,
Right.
and more like an ongoing, maybe even subtle internal tuning, an adjustment.
Precisely. An internal calibration. That's a great way to put it.
But it's interesting, isn't it? We so often get caught up in these predefined paths. The expected career, the right kind of relationship, even what we think happiness is supposed to look like based on others.
Yeah, we do.
Does the source, does it touch on why we fall into those traps, even when intellectually we might know better?
That's a really good question. And it's important to get this. The source isn't saying you need to rebel against everything or, isolate yourself.
Okay.
It wisely points out that living on your own terms is less about defying the external stuff
Right.
and more about interrogating it. Asking yourself, okay, does this path, this expectation, does it genuinely serve my well-being, my inner sense of self?
Or am I just doing it because it's easy or expected?
Exactly that. And to your question about why we get caught, the source really flags the fear of judgment. That's a huge blocker for many people.
Ah, okay. So this happiness they're talking about, it's really not about getting other people to approve of you then.
Not at all.
It's purely internal, a feeling of fulfillment that comes from having the courage to be authentic.
You nailed it. And it seems like the biggest hurdle isn't really understanding the concept.
Right. We can grasp that.
It's actually doing it, putting it into practice.
Yeah, the action part.
Precisely. And this is where the source gets really practical, I think. It moves past the theory.
Okay.
It highlights how important it is to dare to make your own decisions, choose your own path, even if it looks weird to others or they don't get it.
Even if it's misunderstood.
Yeah. It really pushes you to break free from constantly seeking that external green light,
Right.
that permission.
It's interesting that it focuses on these tangible steps.
Yeah.
Like, what are some examples? Are there any surprising ones the source gives for actually living this way?
Well, the examples are great because they're so kind of everyday, almost mundane, but actually quite profound when you think about it.
Like what?
Okay, so imagine daring to go see a movie by yourself.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sounds simple, right? But honestly, for a lot of people, just the idea of being seen alone in public, doing something social alone, that takes overcoming a real mental hurdle about needing validation.
I can see that. The fear of looking lonely or something.
Exactly. Or another one, daring to finally start that project you've been dreaming about for ages without needing anyone else's okay first, without asking permission. That's like a quiet little revolution, isn't it, against needing that external nod?
Yeah, it is. These aren't huge, life-altering decisions necessarily.
Not always.
But they're powerful personal acts. They shift the focus from asking, can I, to saying, I will.
Beautifully put. It's about owning your choices.
And this brings us to that really powerful metaphor the source uses.
The director one.
Yeah, that we should be the directors of our own lives, not just, extras hanging around in someone else's movie.
It's a great analogy.
It resonates, definitely. But I can imagine someone listening thinking, okay, great metaphor, but what about my responsibilities? My family? My job? I can't just direct everything exactly how I want.
That's a really valid point, and the source is actually quite practical about this. It's not advocating for pure selfishness.
Okay, okay.
It's more about conscious alignment. The idea is when you, as the director, truly understand your own core values, your own script, then you can make more authentic choices about which external roles, which responsibilities genuinely fit your story, and which ones might need, well, renegotiating, or maybe even letting go.
So it's about deciding which parts fit the movie you're making.
Exactly. Being the director means you have the power, the choice to decide how your story unfolds. You're actively writing it, scene by scene, taking all the characters and plot points into account.
And that's where the self-reflection part comes in so powerfully, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
The source encourages asking yourself these direct questions. What kind of life script are you writing right now? What kind of main character are you actually being in your own life?
Yeah, turning the lens inward.
What challenges are you setting up? And maybe most importantly, how are you going to direct this main character yourself to tackle those challenges,
Yeah.
to overcome them?
It puts the agency squarely back on you. It says, you have the power here.
It does. It really emphasizes your own agency, but with this deep understanding that you are the one in control.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's really about reclaiming that agency, not just for the big story arc, but for the daily choices that actually build that arc. It's about realizing you hold the power to shape your experiences, your reactions, and ultimately your happiness by consciously directing your life instead of just letting it happen by default or by what others expect.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now?
Yeah, bringing it back.
It means every decision, whether it feels huge or tiny, can be an act of directing your own life, your own movie. It's about embracing that authenticity, being true to yourself, even when it feels a bit uncomfortable or scary.
Because that's where the real lasting happiness is found, right?
Apparently so. Not in the applause from the outside,
No.
but in that deep satisfaction of living a story that you genuinely authored.
It's about shifting, isn't it? Moving from just reacting to whatever life throws at you or whatever pressures come along.
Yeah, that reactive stance.
To a proactive one where you are the primary force. You're choosing your roles, your scenes with intention. You're the driver.
That is a really powerful thought to leave you with. If your life really is a movie, what's the climactic scene going to be, for your personal journey?
What are you building towards?
And how are you right now directing yourself to get there?